Again, good evening po, and thank you so much for joining us po sa ating pong Session 3. Last week po, ang pinag-aralan natin ay it's all about the SPPR. So today, we're going to talk about the Council on Finance. Tama po ba, Doc Homer?
Yes.
Okay po. So we have 22 sa loob ng Zoom ngayon, 22 participants, including us 24, and we are now live on Facebook. Okay, Pastor Franco Cruz, lead us in our opening prayer po.
Let us pray. Manalangin tayo, O Lord and everlasting Father. Salamat po sa gabing ito na pinagkaloob niyo po sa amin. Salamat po at muli ay kakaroon kami ng pagkakataon na matuto sa pangunguna ninyo, Panginoon, sa pamamagitan ng iyong anak, si Dr. Homer. Salamat din, Panginoon, sa lahat ng naging kabahagi nito upang maging matagumpay ang aming seminar sa gabing ito. Salamat po, pinupuri ka namin. Napasalamatan sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you po. Doc Homer, anong unahin nating lecture? Yung bang Finance Committee?
Yung walang kulay. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah. Sige. So, itong Finance Committee Workshop, this is produced by the Greater New Jersey, itong presentation na ito, no? And it is a very nice presentation because it includes some things that we ought to know, even the job descriptions and how money is produced, no, inside the church. So, next slide. Yeah. This is what are the characteristics of financially vital congregations. Number one, there should be financial transparency. Okay? Hindi dapat nakakahiya na malaman ng lahat kung ano ang status ng ating pinansya sa iglesia. Madalas kasi medyo itinatago ko minsan, no? So sharing clear, easy to understand financial reports with members. Dapat alam na ang lahat kung ano itsura ng ating pinansya. Pangalawa, implementing a strong system of internal controls. Ibig sabihin, meron dapat magandang control sa pera para walang suspetsahan. Pangatlo is providing for an annual audit of the financial reports. Dapat malinaw at nalilinis yung pagkapresenta noong records ng pinansya. Number two, missional budgeting and fundraising. So facilitate congregation-wide activity of discerning, planning, and budgeting for God's mission. Madalas kasi pag pinag-uusapan ng pinansya, yung ibang tao ayaw pag-usapan, ayaw makipag-participate. Pero mas maganda yung i-discern, lalo na yung pagbabudget ng iglesia at pagpaplano ng mga allocations, no, ay importante. Para yung mission ay hindi yung pinansya, pupunta lahat sa sweldo ng pastor, wala ang iba. At connection obligation na lang, no? So, hindi dapat ganoon. And number three, we will look at best practices. Engage in practices that ensure the current financial health and long-term sustainability. So, yung tatlong section ng presentation ngayong gabi. Next. Okay, sa financial transparency, titingnan natin kung ano yung financial report. Number one is yung balance sheet. It reflects the overall financial position of the organization at a given moment in time. It shows the accumulated results of all individuals of years of organizations, operations put together. Ibig sabihin, kung nakakita kayo ng balance sheet, ito yung income, sa kabila naman, ito yung expenses. Tapos makikita mo ano yung net, no? Next is slide. Okay, statement of financial position, assets. No, examples of what to look for and ask. One, cash. Do we have enough to pay the bills? No, ano yung cash position natin? No, meron tinatawag kasi na cash flow. Kung minsan wala tayong cash pero marami naman tayong ari-arihan. No, may mga receivables. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa lang dumarating pero darating yan. No, are we collecting on a timely basis? Are there any that will never be paid? Do we have an allowance for doubtful accounts? No, and then fixed assets. Kasama ng financial, syempre, yun yung mga fixed assets natin, land, buildings, and equipment. Have we invested enough or too much? Okay? Kung may problema tayo sa cash flow, kung yung cash position natin, baka naman marami tayong masyadong ginastos pagbili ng mga bagay-bagay. Okay, next. Ito, sa financial transparency, titingnan din yung liabilities. Ibig sabihin yung mga bayarin, no? May bayarin ba tayo sa kuryente, sa tubig, sa ganito? Meron ba tayong unfinished construction na binabayaran pa? Yan. And then the question is, do we have enough cash to pay? And then, meron ba tayong loans? Do we have the means to pay over time our loans? Kasi kung minsan, kung mayroong mga pagawain, naglo-loan tayo sa mga suppliers ng materials, ganyan. Kaya may loans. Next slide. Ito naman yung financial reports. Number 2, statement of activity shows the organization's revenue and expenses for a specific period of time. Pag nagre-report, dapat ang treasurer meron statement, yung financial statement na during the period from January to May, ganyan. Kung quarterly yung meeting, quarterly yung report, no? Meron naman yung buong taon na, no? At the end of the year, it shows the financial statement for the whole year. The report reflects the changes to an organization's net assets resulting from income and expenses that occur during the period of time. So revenue means income less expenses, no? Equals the change in net asset. Plus marami ang income kaysa expense, surplus. Pagka mas marami ang expenses kaysa income, nagiging deficit or loss. Report should include comparison to prior year and budget to monitor trends and risk opportunities versus budget. Dapat mayroon tong yung record ng last year, the same period, titingnan kung gumaganda ba yung ating financial situation o humihina. Okay, next slide. Ito yung financial report, statement of financial position example. Ito na yung assets, no, cash and equivalent, pledge receivables, pledge allowance account, other receivables, land budget and equipment, and then depreciation ng buildings. Okay? So yung liabilities and net assets, nandiyan yung liabilities, accounts payable and accrued expenses, and then loans. No? Tapos unrestricted net assets. And then you'll have at the end, total liabilities and net assets. Okay? Next slide. Dapat ang mga treasurer alam gawin na. Ito yung revenues or income versus expenses. Okay? Tapos lalagyan mo yung opening balance, tapos ang magiging closing balance. So makikita nyo yung change dito, negative. Mas marami yung expenses nila kaysa yung income nila. Change in net, at hindi plus pala. Mas marami yung income 400,000 tapos expenses 372. Mayroong natira na 27,000. Okay, this is part of the report of the treasurer. Ganyan. Okay, next. Okay, ito na yung listahan ng mga actual na expenses, no? Okay, hindi ko na iaano yan kasi sa treasurer's report talaga yan. Next. Next slide. Okay, ito yung internal control. Okay? Strong internal controls do not suggest a lack of trust of volunteers and church employees. They serve to shield employees and volunteers from false accusations as well as temptation, and they protect and honor the gifts of donors. Ibig sabihin, pag may internal control, ibig sabihin yung balance, no? O parang may balance of power, no? So, kaya merong treasurer at merong financial secretary kasi silang dalawa nag-check ng isa't isa kung tama ba yung mga recording. Okay? So, that's why number one, kung may dalawang tao, yung financial secretary at treasurer, magkakaroon ng it prevents a single person perpetrating fraud. And then, the financial secretary and treasurer must be separate and unrelated people. Dapat hindi magkamag-anak ang mga naghahawak ng pera, like financial secretary and the treasurer. Okay? And then offerings should be counted by two unrelated people. Pati yung pagbibilang ng offering, dapat dalawa lagi, at least dalawa, tapos hindi magkamag-anak. Okay, and keep the following tasks separate. Yung approval of payments, iba dapat yon sa signing of checks, iba kayong bank reconciliation. If the treasurer is authorized to sign checks, someone else must approve the bill for payment. Halimbawa, kung yung treasurer ay signatory siya sa na yung checks, dapat yung mag-approve ng bill of payment, yung bill, iba dapat. Halimbawa, pwede rin yung chairperson ng Council of Finance. Okay? Next. Okay. Physically securing assets. Okay? Halimbawa, ito. Pag may keep the offering securely locked between collection and deposit. Okay? May mga churches, may nangyari kasi, alam ko, may yung pastor pang nag-post sa Facebook na yung 70,000 na collection ng church ay nawala doon sa cabinet ng treasurer sa bahay nila, no? Kasi nga, yung offering, nandun lang sa loob ng cabinet sa bahay, no? Hindi siya securely, no? Hindi nakabangko o hindi nakalagay sa vault, okay? And then, promptly deposit funds. Ito yung sinasabi ko, dapat yung cash, hindi nakahawak sa isang tao o kahit treasurer man, and funds should not be taken home. No? Yan. Alam ko, marami na churches na hinahawakan ng treasurer at nandun sa kanyang bahay o nandun sa kanyang Okay, maintain bonding on church members handling money. Okay, ibig sabihin yung bonds dito, dapat mayroong secured na bonds para kung nawala yung sa bond ko ilalagay yung bond parang nawala yung pera, mayroong kukunin na pampapalit. And then limit distribution of keys and security codes. Maintain a log of who has access. Dapat alam lang kung sino ang pwedeng humawak ng pera, no? At yung susi doon sa vault ng church. No? Okay? Number 3, implement authorization procedures identifying who has the right to perform certain functions. Titingnan natin yan mamaya doon sa job descriptions. And then, document financial transactions. Okay? Support each check issued with a written documentation. Halimbawa, kung may checking account yung church, dapat may voucher, may check voucher bago mag-issue ng check. At yung check voucher, pirmado yun ng mga dapat mag-a-approve at gagawin ng check. And vendor invoices should be approved by a signature by the ordering party. Ito na rin yung mga resibo, no? Dapat ang mga resibo pirmado, pati yung vendor, no? Yung mga vendors, no? Yung nagtitinda, nagbibigay nagsusupply ng mga materials, halimbawa mga Christian education materials, dapat mayroon, no? Mga resibo yun, ng pinagbilhan. Count offering using a formatted count sheet and have full counter sign the sheet. So yung import ng money counters, dapat may 2 tao na pipirma doon. Okay, next. Kasama na pa rin ito internal controls. Ito, reconciliations. Yung bank statement should be reconciled to the accounting records of a monthly basis by an individual that does not have signing authority on the accounts. Yung financial secretary usually ang nagbabank reconciliation. Titingnan kung yung record dun sa church ay nagtutugma dun sa record ng banko. Okay? Reconcile offering counter sheet, ganun din. No? With deposit slips, yung mga andiyan, pledge envelopes at saka tight envelope dapat i-reconcile dun sa offering na para magtugma. Okay? Provide donors with quarterly giving statements. Donors should be encouraged to reconcile their records. So bibigyan nyo din, no, ng resibo yung mga nagdo-donate. Okay? And then number 6, train volunteers and employees. Ito yun, provide detailed job descriptions for employees and committee members. Teach ushers how to take the offering and what to do with it. Ako, may mga nakakalungkot na pangyayari din sa ibang churches na yung ushers mismo kumukuha nila dun sa offering plate, no? Ayun. And train counters to compare envelopes with content. Titingnan kung yung inilagay doon sa envelope ay yun din yung tama doon sa loob ng laman na nakalagay doon 1,000. Kung minsan nandun lang sa loob 500 lang naman pala. Ganun. Dapat nare-reconcile yun. And then, instruct volunteers working on fundraising events how to handle cash collected and paid out for the event. Yun, lalo na ito mga fundraising kung minsan, nako, may souvenir program, may maraming mga nag-subscribe, mamaya hindi naman mag-reconcile doon sa na-print na programa o whatever. Kaya kung minsan yung mga dapat sa fundraising event, may malinis na report ng cash in and cash out. No? Okay? Next. Okay. The Book of Discipline, ito na yan. The Committee on Finance should develop written financial policies to document the internal controls of the local church. These policies should be reviewed for adequacy and effectiveness annually by the Committee on Finance and submitted as a report to the Church Conference. Ibig sabihin, yung mga policies on finance dapat ina-approve ng Church Conference para yun ang ini-implement during the year. Okay, next. Ito naman yung annual audit. No? Okay? Annual audit. Tingnan na naman, hindi na natin basahin ito lahat to, but number 3, intended to be a process that provides reasonable assurance that good stewardship is practiced, handling and accounting for funds and other assets of the church. Yung audit ay pag-check ng financial records. So, number 4, sabi niya, audit includes the financial statements of the church, yung mga pinakita natin kanina. Kalawa, all the organizations and accounts of the church. So, ang audit dito, lahat ng may account, no, kagaya ng WCS, ng MOF, ng United Methodist Men, ng Board of Trustees, no, ng preschool, kasama yan, dapat sa audit. And then, the internal controls of the church, paano hinahawakan ang pera. And the audit report provide to district superintendent at the time of the church conference. Okay? Ibig sabihin, na-check lahat ito, yung mga reports ng finances. Next. And then, why do an audit? Okay, number one, the book of discipline requires it. Number two, to protect the people of the church, no? Na elected to do financial responsibility from unwarranted charges of careless or improper handling of funds. Number three, to build trust and confidence to financial supporters, no? Kasi maraming member o donors na kung hindi naman nila nakikita kung paano nagagamit yung pera o ang feeling na may nawawaldas, nadi-discourage sila. And then, four, to set habits of fiscal responsibility that continue with turnover and personnel. Para kung magpalit ng treasurer, palit ng financial secretary or CFA chairperson, ay mayroong malinis na turnover. And then, number six, to provide checks and balances for monies received and distributed. Sabi ko nga, para may check and balance. Number seven, audit is not a symbol of distrust. Hindi distrust ito. It is a mark of responsibility, good stewardship for all to see, and a message to donors that you care about their gifts. Okay, next. Next slide. Okay, ito yung missional budgeting. Paano ba kasi talaga mag-budget? Number one, the key components of vital congregation. First, facilitates projection of income and expenses. Dapat meron kayong basis kung magkano ang magiging income ng church. Kaya nga, kung minsan ginagawa yung Pledge Sunday, para mayroon kang record ng ilan ang ini-expect na tithes and pledges monthly or and yearly, and ano yung mga expected expenses, magkano ang sweldo ng mga pastor, gaponeta, mga music director o janitor, ganyan, and then provides benchmark to measure progress on goals. Ibig sabihin, yung budget, makikita mo, saan na ba tayo sa budget? Nangangalahati na ba tayo? Ganyan. Yung periodic, and presents a snapshot of financial matters. And then, number two, it's prepared annually. Okay? Responsibility of the finance committee with input from church council, committee, and possibly the entire congregation. Okay? And seeks to develop stewards rather than donors. Yung stewards, ibig sabihin, regular na giving. Kagaya na yung donors kasi, kuminsan impulsive lang yan at saka hindi regular, hindi yung maasahan kuminsan. And then should reflect all income and expenses. Lahat ng panggagalingan. Okay? Number three, report progress periodically to congregation to help strengthen stewardship efforts. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, dapat no, na nalalaman ng congregation kahit na quarterly, at least quarterly, kung saan na tayo sa ating budget para na ano nila. No, alam ko na sa mga churches sa probinsya na agricultural ang economy, ito, panahon na to, gawat, sabi natin sa Ilocano, yung bang mahirap ang pera, kaya nagde-deficit yung church. Pero, pag umpisa na ng September, October, November, nandyan na, anihan na yan. Ibig sabihin, dadami na lahat ng mga atraso ng June, July, August, no, ay mababayaran na. Okay? And be flexible to adapt and react to new information that arises during the year. So a budget is a point in time based on best available information at that time. And for example, an unexpected major repair may force you to shift money from another budgeted expense to offset the overage. Lalo dito ngayon, tag-ulan, baka mamaya matutulo na yung sanctuary, yung bubong. Naku, kailangan ng magpa-repair kahit na so kukuha ka ng pera sa ibang item kasi hindi pa naman ito kailangan. Halimbawa, yung budget ng Christmas gifts, nako, kunin muna, gagamitin ngayon kasi ano naman, September pa lang naman. Ibabalik yan pagka December, kailangan na siya. Okay, next. The budget process. Okay, pag nag-budget kayo, ang unang tingnan ay yung mission first. A mission statement declares the priorities of the church. No? Ano ba yung mga priority? Ano bang mga projects ngayon ng church? Ano yung priority programs ngayon ng church? Okay, tingnan nyo muna. No? CE ba ngayon ang kailangan talaga ng atensyon? O doon sa mga kabataan ba? Youth ministry ba? O outreach ba? O building ba? Okay. And then discern and set goals and strategies. The pastor leads a cross-section of congregation to discern on God's plan for the church this coming year. Tubig na bakit? Set SMART goals. Ito yung SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound na budget. Okay? Focus on one big idea, 2 or 3 at the most, and then develop strategies to achieve the goals. And then number 3, budget. Align spending to mission and goals. Committees provide description of how purpose to assign of spend aligns. I-align yung budget sa mga pangangailangan. Yung be realistic in projection of income, set a balanced budget of expenses versus income. Okay? Consider trend, Yung trends, yung bang circumstances, kagaya nung itong last 2 years, pandemya, siyempre, maraming nabawas na budget sa worship kasi wala namang ang puro online naman halos ang worship, pero yung giving na affect din. Okay? So, kinailangan i-adjust yung budget at i-align. Kaya next. Okay, ito yung best practices. Place the mission and interest of the church above personal interest. Alam niyo, kung minsan, ang laki-laki ng issue dito kung minsan, yung bang kailangan, merong sa equitable compensation, kailangan itaas yung sweldo ng pastor. Pero kulang talaga, hindi kaya talaga ng church. Tapos, kuminsan, ang sinasakripisyo yung mission ng iglesia. Huwag ganon. Understand the constitutional nature of apportionment. So, ito rin. Paano natin i-afford yung apportionment? So, honoring donor restrictions. So, may mga donors kasi nang gusto nila, designated yung nila, bibigyan nila. Then, establish and follow an acceptance policy. Okay? Manage risk through insurance and safety.
Naka-insurance ba ang building natin? Sa Pomset?
Understand all laws
Manage risk through insurance.
Okay, next. Okay, tingnan natin yung mga job descriptions. Alam ko, gusto nyo makita ang mga to. Next slide. Yon, yung Finance Committee. Anong trabaho ng Finance Committee? The role is an effective finance team produces a budget, then raise the budget, ibig sabihin sila maghanap ng pera, and manages and distributes the financial resources to support and strengthen the mission and ministry of the congregation. So, gagawa ng budget, sila rin maghahanap kung paano matupad yung budget. Tapos, ima-manage yung budget para kakasya para dun sa mission ng ministeryo ng kongregasyon. Okay? So, qualifications, ability to listen with people of all ages to have ideas about the mission and ministry of the congregation and skills with financial budgetary matters along with understanding of biblical stewardship and management of resources God provides. So, dapat maalam sa management ng pera ang doon sa finance committee. Okay? Structure. Yung ano ba, sino ba membro? Chairperson, yung pastor, yung lay member of annual conference, the chairperson of church council, chairperson of or representative from SPPRC, representative of the trustees, the lay leader, financial secretary, treasurer, and others determined by the church charge conference. Kung titingnan nyo yung mga yan, talaga yung mga leaders na church yan na mayroong administrative functions. Okay? Ito yung responsibilities, compile an annual budget, to submit budget to church leadership for review and adoption, and then provide reports that show how the church is doing versus the budget, and then develop and implement plans to raise sufficient income to support the approved budget. Sila yung makikipagtulungan doon sa stewardship committee para mag-raise ng income to support the budget. And then establish written financial policies and procedures, internal controls. Yan yung ginawa natin itong una, tinake up natin una. And then recommend proper depositories for funds. Saan ba i-deposit ang mga pondo? Yan. Sino ba signatories? Yan. Arrange for annual audit of financial records of church and all its organizations and accounts. Provide report to the church conference. Okay, next. Ito na yung treasurer. This is the role of the treasurer. The treasurer disburses funds in a responsible and timely manner with funds identified and bills paid when due as directed by the policy and procedures. So the treasurer is one who implements the budget. Kasi yung budget, may item-item yan. May item ng sweldo, may item ng kuryente, item ng tubig, mga gano'n, ng utilities, item ng etc. Okay, so qualification, demonstrate skills and interest in financial matter. Dapat marunong sa paghawak ng financial and keep detailed, accurate records and maintain appropriate confidentiality. Ito yung treasurer dapat, no? Marunong maghawak ng records, no? And then understand biblical stewardship and management of resources that God provides. Ibig sabihin, yung treasurer, hindi niya ito hahawakan yung pera na parang pera niya. Na kung minsan, kala mo kanyang pera, ang damot-damot magbigay, kahit nakailangan na yung pera, hindi pa rin niya binibigay. Para bang siya na yung nagdidesisyon. Hindi dapat. Okay, responsibilities, disburses all money contributed to the local church budget. Okay, and manages disbursement of funds according to policies and procedures. Okay, and then prepares and disburses payroll checks, pagpapabayad ng and then pati taxes. Then works with financial secretary to reconcile the records and keep records in order for an annual audit, and works with the financial secretary and chair of the committee on finance to make regular financial reports to the committee on finance, church council, and the church conference. And then works with the committee of the SPRC to establish procedures, policy and procedures for the authorization of payment of bills, investment of funds, and remittance of offerings. Okay, next page. Ito naman yung financial secretary. So, tinan nyo ng mabuti ito. The financial secretary receives records and deposits funds. Siya yung nagdi-deposit. No? Siya ang tumatanggap mula sa mga money counters ng pera. At siya rin ang nagre-record at nagdi-deposit in a timely, thorough, and confidential manner. Hindi sa treasurer binibigay, kundi yung yung financial secretary, yung income part ng finances sa financial secretary. Okay? Kasi yung disbursement part, yung expense part, yun yung treasurer. And then, okay, qualification, skill and interest in financial record keeping. Dapat marunong mag-keep ng financial records, can keep detailed, accurate records and maintain appropriate confidentiality, ability to work with individuals and administrative teams, skills in identifying new revenue as sources along with understanding of biblical stewardship and management. Alam niyo yung financial secretary, nasa kanya yung record ng pagbibigay ng bawat membro, lalo na yung mga tithers and pledgers, at pati na rin yung mga donors. Siya, income part sa kanya. Okay? Then responsibility, supervise the counting of the offering and deposits money. No? And then works according to policy and procedure established by the finance committee to receive, count, and record them and report them to the treasurer and finance committee. So siya talaga yung nagkikipag sa bangko. Okay? Maintain detailed, accurate records of how much money is contributed and by whom. Ito yung sinasabi ko, nasa kanya listahan ng pagbibigay. No? At pati na rin yung general fund, yung general offering, yung undesignated. Reconciles records against those of the treasurer and keeps records in good order for audit. And then arranges for collecting offerings received during worship services and other church gatherings, making certain that more than one person and unrelated is involved in collecting and counting money. So it's the financial secretary who supervises the counting of the offering and provides donors at least quarterly a statement of giving. Okay? Next. Okay, ito yung shared ministry and billings. Pahapyawan lang natin to. Okay, next. Yan. The local church apportionment. Yung local church apportionment natin ay dinidetermine yan ng annual conference at ibinibigay sa atin. Okay? So, ito, doon sa Amerika kasi makulit sila sa okay, sa atin, tinatanggap na lang natin. Sa bagay, dinidiscuss din naman yan sa CFA ng conference at then sa district din, dinidiscuss din yan. Next slide. Okay, ito, shared ministry provides for the conference administration, yung mga sa CFA ng conference at saka world mission expenses. At nandito rin yung connectional, because we are a connectional church, marami tayong mga offering na kailangan ibigay because of our connectional obligation, like yung pensions, board of pensions, nagbibigay tayo ng pension ng mga pastor, nagbibigay din tayo ng support ng Episcopal Fund ng mga bishops, ganyan. So these are part of the budget, but it is because of our shared ministry. Okay, next slide. Yan, ito yung sample ng mga budget. Ito, tingnan nyo yung comprehensive protection plan, clergy retirement, health insurance, property insurance, workers compensation, shared ministry, percentage to yung connectional obligations, 15%. Okay? Ayan. Pumunta na tayo here sa second na presentation. Yung how does it happen? Gustong kong i-share tong second presentation sa inyo dahil it's very interesting. Okay? Making ministry happen. How do is the budget that makes ministry happen? Next slide. Okay, itong yung core values. Ang core values sa finances, number 1 is honesty. Okay? Mahirap na magawak ng pera ng walang honesty. Pangalawa, integrity. No? Integrity. Pangatlo, na take up natin to kanina, transparency. Dapat hindi tago ang financial situation. At ang kaapat, accountability. Kaya nandun yung audit para dapat tama ang accounting. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the stewardship committee, the committee on finance shall give stewardship of financial resources as their priority throughout the year. Okay? So sila talaga ang maghawak ng pera. Ang kanilang focus ay sa pera talaga ang finance committee. Next. Stewardship, is it about raising money to pay the bills? Is it about growing faithful and generous disciples? Hindi lang tayo nakatingin sa pera, kundi yung pag-grow natin bilang generous disciple. Okay? Stewardship. Is it funding immediate needs or long-term needs? Is it giving fish or teaching fishing? Obviously, hindi lang pang immediate needs, and it's teaching people how to fish. Okay, next. Okay, so our church is at a crossroads between the past and the future. Pag nag-budget ka, titingnan mo ano ba yung past, ano ba yung ating future, because that's a present. Okay, next. Shift focus and change the culture of the church. Okay? Shifting the focus. Next. 7 cultural attitudes we must teach and shift. Okay? Ito yung 7 cultural attitudes. Next slide. Okay. Dapat i-shift natin from they, sila, sa we. Number 1 yan, na pagbabago. Ano ba yung binibigay nila? Hindi. Yan, ano ba yung binibigay natin? Ano yung gastos nila? Gastos natin. Oh, yan. First shift na attitude. Number 2, scarcity and abundance. Dapat mag-shift tayo dun sa pagkukulang sa pagkakaroon, no? Kasi kung minsan lagi na lang tayo nagde-deficit, no? Scarcity. Ay nako, yung bang ayaw kong sabihin yung mula sa pagkakuripot sa pagiging generous. Okay, next. Pangatlang attitude, giving as law and giving as gratitude. Kung minsan ang laking pinagtatalunan ng church yung ano ba talaga yung tithe? Tithe ba ay net tithe ng net income o tithe ng gross income, mga ganyan na ano. Kasi batas ang tiniting nila, parang batas, kundi dapat yung pagbibigay ay out of gratitude, out of the abundance that we have. Kasi pag i-base mo sa gratitude, meron kang pagpapasalamatan lagi. Okay? Next. Get dollars from people, no? Dati-dati, tinitingnan, ina-identify yung mga tao lang na makakapagbigay. Dito, hindi. Connect people with the purpose. No? Yung bang merong pangangailangan, kaya magbigay tayo. No? Hindi yung magsusulisit ka lang kanyi-kanyino. Okay, next. Okay, ito yung Luke 9, no? The 12 came to him, send the crowds away. Pero dito, alam natin yung story na ito, itong feeding of the 5,000, no? Na tinignan ni Jesus, konti lang yung ibinigay, pero noong pinanalangin ni Jesus at na ipinasakamay sa kanya, lumaki, no? At kumasya para sa pangangailangan. Sobra pa. Okay, next. Next pa. Next, attitude. Okay, reporting the numbers versus reporting the narrative. Dapat hindi lang mga numero ang pag inaano ng budget. Dapat ina-narrate mo paano po ito nangyari, no? Kung lost tayo, bakit lost tayo? Kasi kulang tayo sa ganito, yung harvest personal natin bumaba, yung ganyan. So it's the narrative. Ikwento mo yung pangyayari kung bakit ganyan yung naging itsura ng ating finansya. Okay? Don't look at the numbers lang, kundi ligyan mo ng interpretation yung mga numbers. Okay? Number 6. Ito, building maintenance or growing a mission. Marami kasing mga miyembro na ang feeling nila nami-maintain lang at kasi naman yung church hindi naman nagbabago, no? Kundi hindi na mag-grow, dapat mag-grow yung mission para may opportunity to give more and to give generously. Okay? Hindi lang nagme-maintain. Next. Ito, maintaining members versus growing disciples. Pag lumalago ang mga disipulo, ang discipling ng ating mga membro, mas lumalaki ang giving at pagbibigay. So, hindi lang nagme-maintain tayo ng membro. Okay, next. Okay, the local church committee on finance, making ministry happen. Okay, so nakita na natin ito kanina. Okay, next slide. Ito, tingnan ito yung connection. The Committee on Finance is connected to the SPPR kasi yung sweldo ng mga manggagawa. Siyempre, sa Board of Trustees kasi yung pagpaparepair ng church, mga pag-ano ng equipments, no? Yung reporting to the annual conference para makita nila yung connection obligations natin. But more importantly, to the administrative council. Okay, next. Yan na yun, ano natin na kagina ito. Next slide. Okay, ito yung 3 basic types of funds. Ito yung general fund, no? Alam natin yun, ito yung operating budget. And then, ito yung designated fund, ito yung special purpose, which is project funds. Ito yung endowed funds, ibig sabihin, ito yung kung meron tayong trust fund, no? Ayan. Ilalagay, sumusobra, ibig sabihin ng pera natin. So, meron tayong endowments. Okay, next. Okay, so general funds are the day-to-day operations of the church. Okay, next. Okay, yung general budget. Next. Yung designated is outreach funds, benevolence fund, flower fund, or building fund, mga ganyan. Okay, and the next, endowment funds. Next slide. Oh, yeah, endowed funds, scholarship, trustees, general use of the church. So, mayroon siyang limited duration. Okay, next slide. Ito, very interesting at mag-e-end tayo dito. 4 types of givers. The four types of givers daw, una, givers that want to be anonymous. Ayaw nila na ipaalam, no, kung magkano binibigay nila, no, yan. Pangalawa, givers that want to be anonymous but want certain people to know. Ibig sabihin, hindi nila gusto malaman ng pangkalahatan, pero gusto nila malaman ng mga key people, ng treasurer, ng gano'n, ng chairperson. And then number 3, there are givers that want recognition. Dito sa atin, very obvious yung donated by, pati yung Biblia sa church may donated by, yung pews ng church may donated by, yung gate ng church may donated by. They want the recognition. Naghahanap pa nga sila ng plaque, no, minsan. And then number 4, are selective givers. Yung bang general fund only, o dedicated funds only, o building fund only, designated giving. Ito yan. Okay? Next slide. Okay? Givers and giving, the types of givers, it's your job to create opportunities for all to give. So yung finance committee, ang job niya ay to create opportunity, bigyan ng lahat ng pagkakataon upang lahat ay magbibigay. Okay? Ito, medyo may pagka-joke ito eh. Access to giving information. Number 1, highly confidential. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ayaw nilang pag-usapan. Okay? Dapat secret. Meron namang big talkers for little givers. Ang galing-galing magsalita tungkol sa giving, pero hindi naman sila nagbibigay. Meron naman yung hindi nagsasalita, little talkers, who are big givers. No? And then, pastor, staff, and other leaders should give. Ayan, palagi nilang sinasabi, dapat yung pastor, kapanita, at yung mga leaders, dapat sila na unang nagbibigay. They set an example. Okay? Next. Who gives what? Isn't any matter of yours. Giving is between the giver and God. Okay? Totoo din naman yan. Is this between you and God? And then next, written policies and procedures, no? Napag-usapan na natin to. Okay. I think we should end here. It's 8 o'clock, and then it's time for our questions, no, and answer. Thank you, Kier. Yes,
Thank
Kier.
you. Thank you for the cover. Thank you so much. Yeah, very enlightening po yung ating lecture tonight, and real talk talaga siya. When you say real talk kasi may mga words tayo na narinig. Sometimes ayaw nating marinig pero yun yung totoo. At kailangan nating marinig, di ba? May mga givers talagang, kunwari may pasabi na, huwag mo nang babanggitin yung pangalan ko ha sa pulpito. Pero kapag binanggit ang pangalan niya, gustong-gusto niya naman. Diba? I mean, when you give, it's in the Bible. Hindi mo kailangan yung pangalandakan na nagbigay ka. Kumbaga. And it is really the Lord who sees what you gave and what's inside your heart. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doc Homer. Okay, sige po. Sino pong may gustong sabihin? Do you have any questions? Any comments? Anything that you would like to share? Yan, sige po. Federico Esquioco, Pastor or Laiko? Sige po, go ahead.
Pastor po, sir. Doon po sa giving po, kung minsan po kasi yung mga giver, yung mga nagbibigay po sa local churches, nagbibigay po sila dahil doon po sa for building only. Tapos, kung titignan natin yung finance, yung pastor support, kinukulang. So, parang nagbibigay lang sila kung may project, ganon. Tapos, pero yung pastor salary, nawawala na. So, ano po yung tamang approach doon sa mga taong nagbibigay? Siguro pwede sabi ko kulang siguro ng pag-educate kung paano sila magbigay. Mayroon bang ano ba to, yung mag-budget ba, yung mga binibigay nila? Ano po yung tamang approach natin sa kanila? Kasi kung minsan nabibigyan lang sila doon sa project, napapabayaan naman na yung mga ibang ministry ng church. Parang ganun po.
Kung minsan kasi, ito, forgive me if I'm wrong, no? Kasi ang na-observe ko kung minsan, nagbibigay ng pastor's report sa church conference at saka yung district superintendent's report sa annual conference. Kung minsan ang madalas na achievements na pinapakita, napalaki yung parsonage, lumawak yung sanctuary, nakabili ng organ, mga ganyan. Puro doon na nakikita, hindi masyado nakikita yung ministry part ng kaya tuloy yung mga membro pong magbigay doon sa kasi yun ang nire-report. Na-encourage din ni pastor kasi yung pagbibigay ng mga ganon, yung mga tangible na bagay, kaya tuloy kung minsan doon na-focus ang giving kasi yun naman ang na-i-report, no? Parang ang pastor din kung minsan ang gusto niyang makita na i-report ito napalaki yung napalawak yung children's department, yung mga ganito, yung puro building na mga ang nai-report. Kaya kung minsan yung focus ng membro yung ibigay ko na lang dito kasi yun ang nai-report, no? Pero kung i-focus sa mission, ito yung burden ng ating lecture ngayong gabi. It should focus on the mission. Ano ba yung mission priorities ng church, no? Para nakikita nila yan, no? Ang hirap din kung minsan na ang una na lang palagi at tuloy nahiya mga pastor na mag-stewardship month kasi ang feeling nila nagpapataas naman ng sweldo, no? So, pero dapat ito nga yung finance committee, siya ang nag-i-interpret. Si Finance Committee, siya ang pag nag-stewardship month, sila lahat titingnan, ipipresent nila yung budget, ito yung budget natin, ganito ang kailangan na giving mula sa inyo, ganon. Hindi sila dapat nahiya kasi trabaho nila yan to determine the budget and to raise funds to meet the budget.
Sige po, Pastor. Do you have anything?
Salamat po.
Okay. Thank you po. Ma'am Cora, sige po. You're raising your hand. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Homer, for the enlightening input. I believe that the Finance Committee prepares the budget for a local church or in an annual conference or district level.
Yes.
And once the budget has been approved, the budget becomes the owner of the budget becomes the local church or the district or the annual conference.
Yes.
Do you think it is a healthy control for a treasurer in any of the three levels to always ask for the approval of the finance chairperson whenever he or she releases money which are budgeted? She cannot release unless there is the go signal of the chairperson of the finance.
Hindi na po. Ang treasurer talaga, kung na-aproban na yung budget, ino-authorize na siya unless there is no available fund, no? Saka lang nag-shift ng kung may pangangailangan tapos kulang yung pera, doon talaga yung treasurer magsasabi doon sa finance chair and then finance and also the pastor na kulang na yung pera na i-release, no, para sa item na ito. Or kung kailang mag-shift, yung sinasabi ko kanina na may emergency na nagkatulo-tulo yung sanctuary, no, na kasi nagbagyo-bagyo, kailangan ng budget pampa-repair, wala namang hindi kasya yung budget para doon. Yun, yung if there is a change that should be made in the release of funds, dapat dadan yun sa finance at saka sa council.
Okay.
Pero yung mga nandun na, yung maliwa, sweldo ng pastor, ano, ipapa-approve mo pa ba yan? Approve na yan eh. Dapat i-release mo na lang.
Thank you, Doc. And another thing is I appreciate yung sinabi nyo kanina na during stewardship month or emphasis, the finance committee should work hand in hand with the stewardship committee. Kasi sa nangyayari sa mga local churches, I had observed na pag stewardship committee, yun lang ang stewardship committee ang nagtatrabaho for that month. And then parang kulang yung collaboration or pagtrabaho ng dalawang committee in that matter. So I like yung
nagiging theoretical ang stewardship natin kasi puro sermon ang naririnig natin. Dapat during the stewardship month may presentation of the budget talaga. Para at diretsahan na sasabihin, ito po ang ating budget for the year. Kung stewardship month ay October, halimbawa, ipakita nyo na hanggang dito pa lang tayo dito sa budget natin na in-approve. And therefore, how much we need to. Ganyan, para diretsahan na ganun, para yung mga membro talaga, aware sila sa responsibilities nila and they become accountable also.
Thank you, Doc. I hope I will be able to relay sa mga local churches or to the district tungkol diyan yung relationship ng stewardship at saka sa finance.
Opo.
Kasi wala pa akong nakitang ganun. Bakit akon?
Actually, kaya nga nagkakaroon ng pledge Sunday during stewardship month eh. Kasi nakikita nila yung budget. Tapos, nagtataas sila ng pledge kung nakikita nila na hindi pala, tapos pala tayo. No?
Right.
So, yun. Kaya stewardship month, usually October, kasi ano yan eh. October or November. Kasi yung Thanksgiving, yun na yung nag-aapit na. At meron na silang 30th month. Ganyan.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you po, Mami Cora. Okay, meron tayong questions sa ating live chat. Good evening, Doc. Okay lang po ba na every Sunday nakasali sa PowerPoint ang names ng mga tao, pati po kung magkano ang ibinigay niya?
Sa akin, hindi. Ako, okay lang ako sa monthly reporting. No? Alam ko, nakikita ko sa mga churches yung iba na weekly nandun yung income and expenses ng church. Well, may advantages yun, pero may disadvantages din siya. Kung ako ang tatanungin, okay lang yung monthly kasi monthly yung expenses, no? Kasi kung minsan may mga weeks na ang daming expense. Tapos kaya nakikita mo parang yung budget pero there are times na may mga weeks naman na halos konti-konti lang yung expense. No? So, mas maganda yung mas balanced yung picture kasi pag monthly.
And in addition to that, siguro, Doc Homer, ito ay personal lang naman din dahil as a member ng simbahan, I don't think kailangan pang ilagay sa PowerPoint presentation yung mga pangalan at saka yung kung magkano ang ibinigay. Okay na yung sa reporting. When you say reporting, pwede nang i-post sa bulletin boards, probably, para maging transparent lang. But to put it in the PowerPoint presentation, lalo na on a weekly basis, I don't think it is a good practice.
Nandun yung transparency sa monthly reporting. Kasi kung minsan nakaka-discourage din lalo na yung totoong mga mahihirap na dinidisplay yung pagbibigay doon sa parang ito yung sinasabi doon sa na hindi mo ipapaalam kung ano yung binigay ng isang kamay doon sa kabilang kamay.
Exactly.
I think more subtle kung ilagay na lang diyan sa bulletin, church bulletin, yung mga pangalan na ganyan, wag nang i-PowerPoint.
Tama.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Sige po, Diaz Lita. Mukhang umiinit ang ating diskusyon ha. Sige po, Diaz Lita, go ahead.
Sir, good evening po. Kaganda po yung inyong lecture, lalo na sana kung nandyan lahat yung mga finance committee at mga treasurers natin para naman natuto sila sa mga lectures na yan na napakaganda. Ang tanong ko, sir, ganito. Pwede ba yung may magbigay sabihin niya naguguluhan kasi yung mga money counters kasi ang nakalagay doon is tight for the building.
Tight tapos?
Tight for the building.
Ano yun?
Designated na yung tight.
Double talk yun. Ibig sabihin, dapat ang basa ko doon para sa building talaga yun. Kaya lang gusto niyang i-record na tights para double recording. Maguguluhan talaga yun.
Oo, nakakagulo doon sa money counter. Saan nila ilalagay talaga?
Building fund.
So that is for the building talaga, sir?
Designated yun.
Oo. Hindi na pwedeng ilagay nga sa tight.
Hindi siya tight.
Gusto nung nagbigay, ilagay niya kasi tight yun galing sa kanyang sweldo.
Hindi po. Ang tights po, hindi po dinidesignate. Ang tights hindi dinidesignate. Pag sinabi mo tight, it's for the general fund. Or pag sinabi mo building fund, bibigay niya sa building.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Pag nagbigay ka sa building, kasi minsan may ugali tayo na yun nga yun. Minsan kaya ayaw ko minsan yung maraming special offerings Kasi kukunin din nila yun doon sa ibibigay nila na tight, babawasan nila yung tight nila, i-special offering. Yung kung magbibigay ako ng 1,000, bibigay ko na yung 700 sa general fund. Tapos yung sa special offering nila yung 300. Ganon. Dinidivide nila. Hindi dumadaan, hindi dumadami.
Ay, nako.
Hindi dinidivide. Kaya siguro sabihin mo na lang doon sa tao kung building type, i-designate mo na lang kung anong type mo at magkano ibibigay mo rin sa building. Ganun na lang para hindi magulo.
Sana ganun lahat ng mga tighters natin. Na kung tights talaga. Hindi ilalagay na tights for the building or building fund lang talaga. That is designated fund.
Opo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that
Thank you, Diaz Lita.
enlightenment. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay po, meron pong isang tanong pa dito. Just want to verify and clarify regarding po sa mga apportionment ng local church sa district. Ano pong composition ng 10% tithes? Kasama po ba sa 10% ang Thanksgiving, pledges, tithes at loose offering?
Oh, I see. Usually, pag gumawa ng budget, yung general fund, nakalagay lahat doon kung ano yung mga items. Yung loose offerings, yung tithes, yung pledges, ganyan, no? Yung Thanksgiving offering, nandun na rin. Okay? Kung may project fund o special offering, nakahiwalay yun. Okay. Well, hindi yun kasama dun sa ano. So, doon sa Finance Committee, yun yung ano, may policies din tungkol dyan. No? Halimbawa, yung Harvest Festival offering, may mga ano, iba-ibang policies. May mga churches na ibibigay kay pastor, lahat. Meron ibibigay yung kalahati sa pastor, kalahati sa ano, general fund kung ganyan. Or kung minsan naman, gagawin nilang kasama na yung trustee fund, mga ganyan. So, but those are policies that should be defined by the local church in the church conference.